Hey, Keyforge Corner here. So today we're talking about Dusk Chronicles. So, Dusk Chronicles. When you play this card, you gain an amber, because it has an amber on the card itself. And it says play. If your opponent has more amber than you, draw a card. And if you have more amber than your opponent, archive a card. And the question is, what happens when you and your opponent have an equal amount of amber? When both of you have the equal amount of amber, nothing happens. Because there's no effect specifically about that. It's either more or less amber. Nothing in between. So if that happens, all you do is get the amber. But wait, then there's the question, when do you get the amber? Now some of you might not notice, but when you activate a card with an amber bonus, the amber bonus does go first. So in this case, you would also get the amber first before trying to resolve any of the effects. So let's say you play this card, and in that moment you place it on the field. Your opponent has more amber by 1 than you. You first get the amber, so your amber equalizes. So now, when the effect checks the amber status and tries to resolve, there's nothing it can do, because its effects don't specify any equal situation. So remember, the amber does go first, and then you check when it comes to the amber status to choose any of these effects. That's what's going to happen. It does kind of suck that a card like this can actually pretty much negate itself by giving you an extra amber. It is always nice to get an extra amber on a card, because then even if you don't use the effect, it does give you an extra usability. With a card like this, it can really mess things up if you need to work around the amber to make sure you don't just equalize the amber before using it. It's not something unbelievably complicated, but in a game like Keyforge where everything's supposed to be super simple, it is an extra step which needs to be taken by some players. Now, another card which I want to talk about today, which is pretty similar to it, is Furtive Investors. Now, Furtive Investors gives you an amber bonus as well when you play the card, and it says play. If your opponent has more amber than you, gain 1 amber for each key your opponent has forged, which seems like an okay card. If your opponent has forged, let's say, 2 keys, then you gain 2 extra amber on top of the 1 amber that the card itself gives you. So that's pretty neat, I guess. Now, what we have to remember here is that this card does give you an amber bonus before checking the amber status, like we talked about the previous one. So here, the effect only activates if your opponent has more amber than you, meaning that if your opponent, let's say, has 5 amber and you have 4 amber, you activate this card. First goes the amber bonus, so amber goes to 5, amber's equal, nothing happens. The effect does not happen in this case as well, which does quite suck that both of these cards, which pretty much need a specific amber situation, are actually able to fuck you over. But I guess that's just what happened in some cases when it comes to Keyforge. Like with Doorstep to Heaven, where you get an amber already for playing the card, but if that amber gives you your 6th amber, you just lose it anyway, because it does equalize amber to 5, and that means you pretty much lose an amber from the card itself. Or Pandemonium, which makes it so each undamaged creature captures an amber from the opponent's side. It does give you an amber first, so it just gives you an extra amber, which your opponent can capture if he has enough creatures, which also quite sucks. And that's just the nature of Keyforge. Sometimes you get cards and get lucky because they have an amber bonus and it's all good. But sometimes you get cards which, even though they have an amber bonus, this can actually hinder them from working as well as they could. Anyway, that's the ruling for both Furtive Investors and Dusk Chronicle. Now, what do you guys think about it? Do you have any cool combos you'd like to share about both cards? Do you want to discuss them any further in the comments below? Do you have any special cards you'd like me to talk about in another ruling video? Write it all down in the comments below. On the Keyforge Corner, I hope you guys keep on forging those keys, and I will see you tomorrow.